And we welcome you to a live edition of This Is Wrestling, part of the OSN brand. It's Lee Versage. It's Zach McGibbon with you. And we have a lot to talk about, including not one, but 2 nights of SummerSlam coming up Saturday and Sunday. 2 words for you, Zach, before we even hear from you. Get excited. We're also going to talk about AEW Dynamite and the fallout from that as they lead up to All In. We're going to talk a little Joe Hendry, Danhausen, Ryan Garcia, all made for a really, really nice, beautiful segment on Monday. But we say hello to the Zote, the Zach of all trades. He'll be on the Ottawa Red Blacks pre and post game show tomorrow here on OSN. You do everything, Zach. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Mr. Versage. Yes, I will be on that Red Blacks pre and post game show tomorrow. Whatever happens, I'll be there. What better way to spend a Friday night? But also, what better way to spend a Saturday and Sunday night than 2 nights of SummerSlam? Thank God there's a civic holiday coming up, because at least I get the Monday off. So that's going to be nice.
Do you? I don't.
You don't get the Monday off?
Absolutely.
Oh, you're working.
Not.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that, Lee. But that's
not even time and a half. It's not a stat.
Wow.
It's one of those unofficial holidays, right?
Yes. Not a well. It's one of those deals where it's like every month needs to have some form of a holiday for some people, and I guess
something in August. We'll call it a civic holiday, but we won't really do it from all the provinces across the country. We'll just sort of mix it in somewhere.
You look at it's like, I guess I'll celebrate the Honda Civic. Sure, I never really thought of it needed a holiday, but it is a reliable automobile. So good on the Honda Civic.
I've had Hondas, not a Civic, but I've had Hondas for the last 13, 14 years.
Yes.
Our good friend Craig Pelishok down at Hunt Club Honda.
There you go.
Quick plug.
Yeah, Craig's a great guy. Great guy.
So speaking about quick plugs, or speaking about plugs, Rich says, "Whoa, going full biker taker." And then he attempts to sing.
The pain, diggy, for the boogies. I'm just the boogie.
That was well
Kid Rock.
done. That was well done. I was not going to attempt it, so you stepped in.
Yeah.
Stepped right up to the plate.
Yeah.
We got to say hello to Rich at the Bell Center in Montreal, which is fantastic to be able to meet him. I noticed that he didn't bring down the rest of his family.
No, it was just Rich.
As he said, it really is not that far. It's like, 30 seconds. It's right down and left the family upstairs. But that's okay.
Especially for that lengthy of a show.
You would think they'd be dying to get out. So it was great.
People.
No, it was great to meet Rich and to put a face to the name. Big part of it. And I think he knows that his wife knows that he's listening to us when we're live instead of whatever's going on in the house.
Correct.
So
as we've learned.
I like that a lot.
Yes.
So yeah, we got a lot to talk about, from SummerSlam to Dynamite to Monday Night Raw and some of the bad things that happened there. But have you recovered from the show? Like the last time people heard us when it comes to like a current edition of This Is Wrestling, because we've had some bangers that have been put out.
You can't complain about the lack of content this week, because it has just been rapid fire, something new. There's going to be another new one tomorrow morning as well that I've edited. So there's a lot coming.
Oh my God.
It has been just rapid fire this week.
So I'm just gonna stand up here for a second.
Okay.
Right. Got my Inner Circle shirt on.
Yeah.
Got my bandana on. But you know what I'm gonna do, Zach? Standing ovation.
Okay. A standing O.
You know who that's to?
Who is that to, Mr. Versage?
That's to you, Zach.
Oh,
Because we dropped you off at give or take about 2:45 in the morning.
yes.
You then had to drive not too far, but still probably 10, 15 minutes from where we were in Barhaven to your home.
Yep.
I pulled in my driveway at 3:15. The alarm went off at 6:15
Oh, jeez.
to go to work.
I was wondering how the turnaround was.
Yeah,
for
so I
you.
got about, I think I fell asleep about 3:45
Oh, jeez.
coming home from AEW Redemption. And the alarm went off at 6:15. So a solid 2.5, maybe 2:10, something like that. And then the problem is going to work is it's a very physically like demanding job. So to tell you I was great in the last 3 hours of the shift was not correct. But you would think that we did a 2-hour live show in the van on the way home. Well, not live, but like in the van on the way home. And what do I see when I get up in the morning? But Zach has gone home and not gone straight to bed and has edited and put out the show for people to consume. And I saw it, I don't know, whatever time in the morning. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So you deserve a standing ovation for that.
Appreciate that.
That is well beyond the Call of Duty.
I told you, I was like, it's gonna be on my mind. I might as well do it. So I just went ahead and did it. I took the files, got it all edited down, and made sure it all made sense and was aligned. And it's just it was very relieving to listen to the van go as we were talking, like it did last year or whatnot.
Yeah.
There was something about it, and listening back to the takes and whatnot. I thought Holsky was great on that. That was great. We had a good back and forth there as well. Somebody had to do it at 1:45 in Hawkesbury, so why not us?
Why not you? You played the heel. I think it was like 1:57 in the morning, and I'm like, Zach is playing the heel right now. This is incredible.
Yes, it was a good debate. Polsky's so good at what he does, so it was nice to just.
I love that guy because my father always used to say, like, I was so boring sometimes that I'm like, watching paint dry. Like I need to pick it up a little bit. Polsky could sell you the paint on the wall after it's drying.
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Like.
And you'll hear it in that bonus audio too. The way he's able to sell you on something, I'm like, wow, damn, I didn't even think about that, but that's a great way to put it. So
I'll also say that there were 6 people in the van. Good news is that a third of the van fell asleep on the way home, and the driver was not one of them. So I'll also give I won't be a standing O, but it'll be an ovation for driving home for Ben Soublier, because he was very good driving home.
Yes.
So he didn't fall asleep. 2 members of the 6 did, and it wasn't me, and it wasn't you, and it wasn't Ben, and it wasn't Holsky.
Yeah.
So, all right.
There was a point, without revealing who it was, but you were, because I encouraged people to listen to that. I actually thought for what we were able to do in the van, what we were able to record during that time, I thought it was very good audio.
Yep.
Pat ourselves on the back a little bit here, but it was funny. There was a point where you were trying to introduce somebody onto the next topic, and then you realized what was going on, and then you just went right back to me. So Zach, what do you think about this? It's like, oh yeah, of course. Well, I thought
we're gonna go up front. Ben, what do you think? We need the guy sitting beside you to put the microphone over there. Yeah, he's asleep.
Yes, it was
hilarious.
I will, to give him credit, he had his Undertaker moment.
Yeah,
and it just popped back up all of a sudden. It was like, giving takes again. It was unbelievable. It was the hottest comeback I've ever seen.
Yeah. So that was Tanner.
Yeah.
And then our buddy Steve, who I love the Big Mac, the Mac truck.
Yes, sir.
Good dude. It was like one answer in, and like he was, I'm like, I think I made a mistake going back to him the second time.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, this guy's done. Now, where I'm gonna give him a little crap is the fact that when we got home, because he was sleeping for at least half or more than half of the time, we get home and he's like, you know what? I'm kind of up now. I think I'm gonna just start my day. I'm like, what? He went back, got an extra large coffee, and day started. Like, I could probably start my day too if I napped all the way home. There's a show going on.
He also came back to life as we came into Ottawa, and he tapped me on the shoulder and was like, oh, look at that over there. And I'm looking across like, we're still live. Like, we're still going to tape here. I can't be looking off. Somebody's got to break down this chain match here. You know, somebody's got to do this. So it was
anyway.
So if you're looking for the full review, it's out on the audio feed right now.
Our buddy Rich, who was giving you the standing O as well, says, I forgot to get a selfie. It was just the wife up there. She was playing Pokemon Go and having a glass of wine. So yeah, I like Rich more and more every time I talk to him. And the fact that his wife plays Pokemon Go, I haven't played it in a couple of years.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, there is nothing that got me through the pandemic more than Pokemon Go.
Yeah. You were a big time Pokemon Go player.
I was out there because I was out there like 10, 12, 15K a day. And it helped me get through. It helped me exercise. It helped me get out of the house.
Yep. You were playing Pokemon Go at one point just before we were doing recordings at the other place. So it was unreal.
Yeah. That is big. So I appreciate that even more from Rich, who also says, my boss told me that Holsky was there before I could tell him because he listens to 580 and Holsky talked about it. Now, this is some of the tape that we need.
Yes.
What did Holsky say on 580 CFRA?
Everyone was great, but Zach had the worst takes on the show, is what I imagine was.
He was so great on the show. The Stampede discussion was amazing. Love him on the Ottawa-based media of all types. So I agree. Put himself over a little bit about, I won Best News Broadcaster of the Year.
Well, look, you got to put that over. It's wrestling. It's like what I said on the show. Like, I remember when I was working indies and there was a guy that's competed in Canadian strongman competitions, legitimately. Big dude. And he was being billed as Canada's strongest man. And he was looking, he's like, but I'm not. I never won the Canada's. And we're like, it's wrestling. You're Canada's strongest man. Just embrace it. Embrace it. That's what we're like. Embrace it. In this case, he legitimately did win the award.
I know. Didn't have to put himself over so hard, but. Rich says, we're teaching my son how to play like right now. Pokemon Go. I'm telling you, I was into it, man. There were a couple that I needed that I just couldn't get. And then
I know he's not exactly, I know he's not exactly the right person. He's kind of persona non grata right now, but I remember in the peak of the Pokemon Go craze, Vince McMahon had the rare tweet and he put up a picture of a Ghastly in his training room. It's like, get this thing out of my weight room or whatever. And it was a Ghastly that was in there. Like, wow, Vince decided to take over his Twitter account to make sure that this was known. So.
Exactly. Okay, let's get into it. We had a great trip. It was great to meet some of the folk. And it's really interesting, I think, when you go to a show like we did, spend the day, we do a preview, we go to the show. It's a long show. We do a 2-hour show on the way home. And then to hear the reviews of other people after and what they thought of the show as compared to what we thought of the show. I find that stuff really interesting because there's a lot of variety in kind of how other people saw the show. But we'll talk about the fallout from Dynamite. I'm excited to talk about that. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a really good show last night that I had to watch pretty much twice because we went out and watched it, which was great.
Mhm.
But there were a ton of great promos on Dynamite.
Yeah, the promos were
On
great
Dynamite,
yesterday.
and we didn't hear any of them.
Right, I'm assuming you were out at the bar or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So we're watching on mute, and you're trying to figure out what they're saying, and you get the gist. But it was one of those like, oh man, I'm gonna have to go home and watch that, and then that, and then that. So basically watched Dynamite twice in the last 24 hours. But Zach, 12 matches, 2 nights. Get excited because SummerSlam is coming up Saturday and Sunday for the WWE. And we're going to go through it match by match, piece by piece, because you're not going to be able to say that we pick favorites.
Right.
And that we don't. If you think we pick favorites, we just have had 2 WWE Unreal shows, and they are unreal. They're awesome. They are awesome.
Yes, our reviews of them, yes, are
Yes,
are available now that people can listen
yes,
to.
they're awesome.
If you think I lose my mind on the reviews for pay-per-views, you have not heard me on these Unreal reviews, especially the second episode.
And to be very transparent, last night as we're recording it, I was kind of caught in like a gap of like I had a meeting beforehand, and then we were going out to watch after, and we only had a certain time. And I tell you from like just so clear and honest, there's only some times where Zach McGibbon is in those type of moods. And there was a point where I'm like, maybe I won't go out. Maybe I'll disappoint. Like Ben was coming to pick me up. Maybe I just won't go, because rarely do I get Zach in this type of mood. And it's like, I want to just, needle's the wrong word, but I want to
tap into it a little bit more.
Encourage you to be yourself in those moments.
Right.
So
yeah, as we were going along, I literally, the tone was set when I'm going on the first words I'm saying, Lee, we don't have to review this show anymore if you don't want to. I'm okay if we move on to something else. We still have some Dark Side of the Reigns to catch up on. So I'm like, if we just want to do that, that's okay with me.
You're still saying that to me like 10 minutes ago.
Yes, I was also still saying that. I'm like, Lee, there's still time. We can stop this right now. We'll go live. We'll tell the people, the good listeners, like, you know what? We can't do this anymore. And I think they would understand, Lee. I mean, I think they would understand. Now, the problem is, here's the big problem with all of this.
Okay.
These reviews do quite well when it comes to our bonus content. People like listening to us review this stuff.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, I'm caught in the content trap where I have to do it. We're 2 episodes in. So I was telling you before, I'm not locked in, but as I sit here live on the show,
you're locked in.
I'm locked in. I got a tip. I don't know what's happened in episode 3, but I got a tip that episode 3 was somehow worse. And I'm like, it can't possibly get worse than that. But apparently it does. So
Did that tip come from me in the last episode? Who told you that?
No, it was one Ethan Fink that reached out and said episode 3 is worse, because he was asking if we had gotten through already. And I'm like, God, no, we have not. This is I'm like, why don't you binge it? Because if I try to binge it, my head will explode. Like, that's what's going to happen.
Well,
so I have to take my time with the show.
For me, it's the opposite. I will forget what happened in episode 1 if I watch all 5 episodes at once.
Yes.
And they'll all blend together and it'll just be one show.
Yeah.
But now I can go through methodically.
Yeah.
And pick it apart without worrying about what happened before, because I haven't seen it yet.
Yes, we can analyze Triple H telling Liv Morgan that she's a ring general now, and he could put her on any part of the card.
How did you know I was going to start our SummerSlam review with Liv Morgan and Io Sky for the Women's World Championship match? I believe Liv Morgan eclipsing her own record of fewest defenses in a title run
It's unbelievable. Lee, you had a whole rant about this last time she had the women's championship, and there were people, go read the comments on that Instagram reel, the video. They're like, oh, this guy, he's just, he's out of his mind. What is he talking about? It's a new era. Lee, it's actually gotten worse this time.
No, it's longer.
It's actually like, I don't even think she's had a title defense. If she has been won, like it's unbelievable. It's actually gotten worse.
Yeah, I think it's one. I'm gonna look it up. I think it's one, but I will look it up as we.
According to Google, Liv Morgan has reached over 100 days as the WWE Women's World Champion with 0 televised or streaming title defenses.
A 100 days?
I'm looking through on Cage Match.
Yeah,
so zero. It's a big old 0.
When did she beat Sol Ruca? Was that?
All I have here on this title 20th. Defense here on Cage Match is the WrestleMania 42 match. Maybe there is a Dark Show match that I missed.
When was WrestleMania?
WrestleMania was that was a long time ago now. I think it's March 18th was WrestleMania.
It was in March?
Yeah, it was March this year.
Okay, well, she had a match on Raw.
April 18th. My bad.
Oh, April 18th.
Yes,
okay,
April
so
18th.
She beat Sol Ruca 2 nights after on Monday Night Raw.
Was that a title defense, though?
Of course, it had to have been, no?
I have here on Cage Match that she has not defended the title since she won the title. I have it as a big old 0.
Okay, regardless. Rich, the guy who went to Montreal, calls her Sol Botcha. That's
tough, but true, but tough.
Yeah, it is true, but it's kind of one of those things that we talked about in one of our Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling reviews, that if your matches are like really short, people are going to remember if they're big screw-ups, where they're not going to remember as much if you're in a 20-minute match. But so Liv Morgan gets to defend her title. Let's go.
Finally.
Against Io Sky.
Oh, don't get too fired up now, Lee.
No, I was just choking on a honeycomb or something.
Yes.
Again, in the matches, of course, that she's had, she lost to Io Sky in the Queen of the Ring final.
Yes.
So she couldn't challenge herself for the title at SummerSlam. So she had to fight somebody, so she lost. Okay, so where do you think they're going with this? There isn't a lot to kind of grab onto with this because she has not defended it at all. I'm going to say with the Netflix Unreal show out and Liv Morgan being a part of that show and having not defended it, it would make sense for her to retain in this spot after losing to Io Sky in the Queen of the Ring final. So I'm going to pick Liv Morgan to retain in this one. And I'm just hoping it's not terrible. Like, I don't have massive expectations for the match, even though she is a ring general.
Yep. She's going to teach Io Sky how to work. We're going to find out.
I'm hoping for it not to suck.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be funny, though, in all of this, that she just loses the title without a single title defense? She held it for 100 and something days, and she just loses it with exactly 0 goose egg title defenses. It's just funny, the build up to this. Io Sky beats her. The term is like, you know what? I beat her. I want you again.
Well, that makes sense for Io Sky.
It makes sense. It's just funny. It's like, like what a riveting build this has been. I'm gonna pick Liv Morgan because I think they will have heard the criticism, and as you mentioned with the Unreal stuff, I would think that would coincide with that. But this is not me doing I can see this happening. I will still take victory. It's more of a, God, would it be funny if Io Sky just won after all of that? Like, that would just be genuinely funny. but I'm going to pick Liv Morgan to retain because it would be very, very embarrassing on this creative team if after all of that, she doesn't even defend her title once. So
agreed. Speaking of the women, we'll continue with them. Fatal Influence gonna wrestle the Bellas because Nikki Bella is back. Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Paige in the 6-woman tag team match. Your thoughts first, Zach.
Oh, well, you know me. I got so many thoughts about this.
Well, I went first last time. We need to share.
Yeah, I look, there's so many things wrapped around my head. I can't really contain it all into one formative thought when it comes to Fatal Influence versus the Bellas and Paige. I mean, there's going to be a 6-woman tag and be some holds, and there'll be Nikki Sawa will throw out her elbow, like hit her elbow on somebody, and I'm going to pick, because Fatal Influence took the belts. I think with this company, they'll want the win back. I'm going to say the Bellas and Paige, but this is one of those matches where I really don't care who wins or loses in this because they haven't built this very well at all. So I'm going to pick Nikki Sawa, Brie Bella, and Paige to win this one.
I don't think Nikki Sawa is her name.
What?
Yeah.
She throws the rolling elbow. Like, pretty sure that's Nikki Sawa to me. But
well, I'm going to go a little bit different from you, and okay. I think Fatal Influence is going to win, and I think you're going to see a turn here. I think why would Paige have anything to do with the Bellas from here on in?
But Total Divas, Lee, that was a big show.
I think Paige probably better off as a heel. I don't think she needs anything to do with the Bellas. And can she bring a little bit of a rub to Fatal Influence and give them a bump just because of her name? If she goes with Fatal Influence and I know she's still young, and kind of puts them over and doesn't hog the spotlight herself, that would make sense to me. I just don't know coming out of this match why Paige would be associated with the Bellas. Maybe did they do something in this match where like the Bellas and Paige win, but there's a little dissension and then we get a turn coming up later? Maybe. But it's kind of like Nikki Bella's back. Oh, your sister's back. Well, good for you. I'm going to put her down. Rich says she has the bling metal look on her dark colored gear to match them already. Okay. Rich is on my side.
Well, I hope you all enjoy your big Paige Bella's feud. And
no, you're mocking it now, Zach.
I'm now mocking it. Now I'm mocking it. Look, I'm just saying, more for you, if that's what you want, that's okay with me. I'm not gonna wake up in the middle of the night, unlike a Jack Perry match, wondering if I got that prediction correct. Right. So,
well, let's move to another 6-person tag team match because the Usos and Jacob Fatu go up against LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa. I, like you, sometimes I'm cheering against people because, look, it's fun to cheer against people sometimes. You don't wish them like ill will, but it's fun to cheer against them.
Yep.
So I'm going to cheer against LA Knight in every match he's ever in.
Well, he's on such a incredible run after he cut that promo on Seth Rollins, Lee. Like, how could you go against somebody that's just on such a hot streak? So I'm going to pick the Usos and Jacob Fatu for no other reason that, like, I don't have a reason. I'm guessing that the Usos and Jacob Fatu, it's not great if they don't go over. I don't know. I like to cheer against LA Knight. I hope he loses all the time. Yeah. Just takes the pin.
Yeah.
What do you make of the Solo Sikoa babyface run? Been a lot of positivity about him being able to showcase his personality a little bit more
Well,
as a babyface.
I do believe that you can't just put everybody in the bloodline and expect them to all show their personalities and all be involved when, Jacob's there and Solo's there and the Usos are there. Like the MFT, like it's way too much. So give Solo something else to do because you can always turn that guy. Always. Because there's always going to be a little bit of you don't trust that guy. So I want to see that play out. I want to see a little bit more from Solo Sikoa. He'll probably eventually turn back, but whatever. Honestly, Zach, you're asking me questions that quite frankly, I'm not.
Look, I'm trying to drive the engagement here on this.
Yes, I know, but did you engage? It's going to be a match. Women are going to be there.
Well, no, I look, I'm just telling based on how they book this stuff. I'm like, well, what do you want me to say? Is like, you want me to get fired up for 2 6-person tag matches on my SummerSlam card?
Okay, so this is a bad start to night number 1 with these 3 matches, but I do think it picks up after that. Gunther and Nick Aldis. So I saw Nick Aldis. I didn't see the entire interview, but I saw about half of it on with Chris Van Vliet. Was very emotional. Probably a little bit in character. I don't know, but he came across very genuine about, having it be this long. This is his one shot. He's waited so long to be able to get back in the ring in a prominent spot and has a real opportunity in front of him. And I can buy in, at least relate to that. He's been out of the game for a long time and he's going to be in there with one of their big guys at SummerSlam. And I hope that this match is a good match. I think it can be, but I don't know. So there is a genuine wonder for me about what this match could be. I think Gunther can carry a lot of people, and I think Nick Aldis was a decent wrestler. I just don't know if he is anymore. And I don't know if he knows if he is anymore, and that's where the genuineness was coming out in that interview.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since he's had his last match. I'm just seeing Rich put in that the days that since his last match.
That's a few years.
It's a few years. I think he will come in motivated. He always has struck me as a guy that we've had him on the show in the early parts of This Is Wrestling. Yep. We had a lengthy interview with him, actually. Mm-hmm. I think during the entirety of the hour interview, I think we spoke maybe 10 minutes of that. But if you remember that interview, but
that's a good interview, right?
Yeah. No, he said a lot. He's somebody that based on how we've dealt with him in the past, and I've interviewed him a couple of times in the past, and he's always somebody that's always been focused on his game and wanting to get better. So I have no doubt that he's going to come into his match motivated and ready to go. I think you're going to see a lot of criticisms because unfortunately for Nick Aldis, he has just been set up as the general manager of his brand, SmackDown, over the last couple of years. And if you're somebody that just only watches WWE, you don't really know about his stuff in the NWA, or even if you want to go further back as Brutus Magnus.
Yep.
So on the surface, you're looking at this as like, wow, 2012 Brutus Magnus is taking on Gunther, the Walter in this SummerSlam card. And a lot of that critique goes more to how they've dealt with Gunther since beating Cena, which we have been going through on WWE Unreal, which you can listen to now for the first 2 episodes. But a lot of this you look at it, it's like, how did we get to this point where this is the result of the beating John Cena, having him tap out, that he's facing off against the general manager of SmackDown. All that to say, we've seen with Gunther in the past. I remember the Pat McAfee match where he brought out the best in Pat McAfee. Now, did I love everything about that match? No, but on that night, that was one of the better matches of the show, and the crowd was into it.
I believe we thought, or at least I did, that was the best match on that card that night.
Yep. And for that, it's a lot more experienced Nick Aldis that's in there. So we'll see. This is going to be a big prove-it match. And I think Aldis knows this too. This is an opportunity for him to get more matches with the WWE coming from this performance. So this has an opportunity where I know Gunter will want to make Nick Aldis look good. I think Nick Aldis wants to make sure that he looks good in the ring. I thought he was solid enough as a NWA world champion in the past. I thought he had the look, and I thought they built his matches well enough to where it felt like he was a legitimate, credible champion when he was. But that was years ago now. And I think at this point, we'll see what the match is. I got Gunter winning. I got Gunter winning. But we'll see if it's gonna be a good match.
More importantly, where do you think they're going with this? Like, is this a one and done for Nick Aldis? Do you really believe it's almost like a tryout? If Gunther wins, does he just go back to being the general manager? Like, I understand how they got here a little bit. I don't like it because I think it stalls Gunther's run a lot, but it's where they're going with Nick Aldis here.
Yep.
Like, are they going to make him? Because if he wins this match, it doesn't look good for Gunther. But if he wins, there's a lot more kind of teeth to like Gunther getting his win back, keeping Nick Aldis around. What happens at the general manager spot because Nick Aldis isn't there? Like, just from a storyline perspective, there's a lot more options if Nick Aldis wins this match. If he doesn't win this match, I feel like it gets cut right there. Like, what's Nick Aldis doing next if he loses to Gunther? So, all that to say, it'd be really dumb to have Gunther lose this match, but I'm going to pick Nick Aldis. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that we've seen in those Unreal shows, like even when they put the title on Punk, one of the lines that was given in the writers' meeting was, we can still get everywhere we want to go with Punk as the champion. And after this, I think there's a lot more openings with Nick Aldis winning this match than I do if Gunther wins this match. So for that reason, a little bit of belief in the team here that it's best for business for a little while that Nick Aldis wins in this match.
I am a little astonished that you have belief in this creative team after the first 2 episodes of this Unreal show.
I think you have to. You have to still be positive. You still have to have you got to believe that in that room that somebody is like, what are we doing after this? Because as Triple H told us, if you're not thinking about the future, you're already behind.
Lee, there's so much I could say from that, but I will just leave it for the review, and I will try to keep myself cool, calm, and collected here.
Sorry, the exact line is, if you're not thinking about what's next, you're too late. I didn't deliver it exactly, but
that's okay.
You got the gist.
I got the gist. I've got Gunter winning here. If Nick Aldis wins this match, Lee.
What?
If Nick Aldis, is it?
Yes.
I don't think it's best for business. I think it'd be a-okay if Nick Aldis loses, but he looked good in defeat. I think you could get it just as much done with that, and you can make the argument of Aldis is like, man, I've got too many responsibilities being both a general manager and a wrestler, and I have to make a choice at this point in my career. So I think it would lead to Aldis, if he looks good at his match, he could come out and say, look, I have to give up my general manager role to be a pro wrestler, and I'm coming in as a pro wrestler. So I'm picking Gunter, and yes, I will make fun of this WWE creative team if Nick Aldis wins after all this.
No, Aldis needs to win, says Rich, to win for another match to come up and a third Cody Aldis match. Yes, please.
He doesn't need to win. He does. It's the general manager that hasn't wrestled in 2.5 years.
But he's still, like, Liv Morgan hasn't wrestled in 100 days.
She's still an active competitor on the TV, presumably still training to wrestle. Just, those GMs are not booking her in a match. Listen to yourselves. This is the man that beat John Cena in December.
Yes.
And you're telling me the general manager of SmackDown is going to beat that guy at SummerSlam?
What I'm telling you is I don't think they should have booked Gunther in this position.
Well,
since they have, I think the right thing to do, as you mentioned, Nick Aldis is a former NWA World Champion, and I believe the longest NWA champion in like a long time. He had that belt for years.
Literal years, yes.
And before that, as Magnus in Impact, and like this was a world-class wrestler. And I get it that he hasn't done it in a while, but this isn't Teddy Long wrestling. Okay? As general manager. This isn't like just somebody else. This guy has a rich history and understands the history of the sport. Him getting over in one match doesn't kill Gunther, because Gunther being booked with Nick Aldis kills him more than actually losing this match. If he gets his win back in September or October and gets back on a path, but that's up to the booking team. The booking team has put him in a position where he's looked very weak over the last 3 or 4 months. And it's ridiculous that they've even put him in this position. I think we can all agree on that. They had him from the John Cena thing. They were going to do Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's like, yeah, I'm not retiring to that guy. And then they were going to do Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar's like, I'm not retiring to that guy. And they found nothing for him to do.
Yep.
That's on them. Have Aldis about to beat him when Kaiser comes back to help him, and then get Cody to come and help, and they still bump heads and have Aldis Cody 3 with the current Punk Cody vibes. That seems like a lot going on, Rich, in that whatever you were just saying there.
It's a very nice way of saying overbooked, but yes. Look, I'm just saying, I know what you're saying, that this is already kind of a joke that this match is being put into place, but I really do think with this WWE audience that they don't know this stuff we're talking about, especially with the NWA. I really think they will look at Gunther as more of a joke after this. I really do. So I think it's much more effective if Nick Aldis looks good in defeat and he says, there's too many roles I have to be. I know that I can do this if I just hone in as a pro wrestler, and that's a simple story to tell. And I know with this company, simple stories is kind of, they're allergic to that right now, but there is a path that they could go down with this. So,
all right, let's move on. And we get to 2 matches I do have genuine interest in. I think there's 3 on the entire SummerSlam card. 2 of them are going to be on Saturday night. Their newest, biggest star, Obafemi, wrestles Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell. If this to me would be the worst booking than Gunther Aldis if they do not have Obafemi win this match. Obafemi gave his title shot up after winning the King of the Ring to fight Brock Lesnar. If he loses this match, again, they will have booked their biggest newcomer that finally they have somebody that's over with the crowd, and they'll have booked him in the worst possible way. Hey, we're going to have you win King of the Ring, and then we're going to have you just give the title shot up, because titles will always be there, even though you're supposed to earn the title shots, and you did, and now you've given it up to wrestle Brock Lesnar in a Hell in a Cell and then lose that match to Brock Lesnar? Come on, man. Like, I don't see any way that Brock Lesnar's winning this. I actually see like Oba really beating him, and Brock Lesnar might go for real this time. And I guess that's the question. Do you think we see Brock Lesnar after SummerSlam? Is he retiring? because it is in Minnesota.
Yep.
And that's all we talked about for a long time. And that's kind of been like squashed down a little bit. Curb stomped, if you will. I'm picking Obafemi.
I am also picking Obafemi. I think this would be disastrous if Brock Lesnar wins. There's a part of me that's wondering if they think if they have him win against Obafemi at Hell in a Cell at home in his home state and get that final pop before he leaves. There's that part of me that's lingering in the back of my head. But all that to say, I Obafemi has to win this year.
Yeah.
He has to win this. And I feel like Brock is one of those guys that would understand that. I mean, he put the guy over in that first match. So I just hope that he realizes what's at stake here. And this is a chance to really make Obafemi. And I'm hoping it's a good match as well. I've been liking Obafemi on the main roster. I think he's a good promo. He's impressed me with his promos when he's since his call up. He's a much more put together. Now, I was somebody that was on here talking about Braun Breaker needed to take that push to him and see what you've got. But in terms of a more complete package, it's Obafemi between he and Braun. So this is an opportunity here to, have Obafemi say, I beat Brock Lesnar in Hell in a Cell and really move forward with that momentum. So he has to win this one here.
Yeah, I would agree. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk for the WWE Undisputed Championship, even though they have another title. That's
correct. Very much disputed.
That's going to main event night too.
Very much disputed.
Tough to say it's not disputed when Roman Reigns is the champion and he's main eventing night too.
Correct.
I just don't see a scenario that putting the belt back on Cody Rhodes is a good idea here. I tore into them. The 9-day title reign, I think, was a joke. Punk coming back and just being handed the title match and winning it is a bit of a joke. But we've heard all the reports that they want the belt on CM Punk for a long time. I'll try not to buy into that as much as it just doesn't make sense to put the belt back on Cody Rhodes here for me. Like, you can do a lot more with Punk. You can have a lot more storylines we've seen. Like, Cody needs something different. Cody just doesn't need to be involved in the title picture and swapping back the title every 4 months with somebody. I think he needs another long run back to the title, is what I actually think. Or it takes another year past when Zach McGibbon thinks he should win. I'm picking CM Punk to retain. But I guess my question would be, like, who are you picking? And do you think that we see anything else involved in this match?
I'm also picking CM Punk. I think it's been well played out at this point with Cody Rhodes as champion. And I think there needs to be a bit of a breather in between for this. And what a better opportunity than an opportunity to catch your breath a little bit, Lee.
Right.
With CM Punk, and he can guide things while they resettle things in creative.
Well, they're very busy. So,
of course, when they're both thinking, if you're not thinking the next step, you're already too late, but also they're panicking about what they want to do for their next step. Very inconsistent messaging from this creative team. I have more to say about Triple H in a moment, but I will keep that to myself.
All right.
But I think there's more that you could do with Punk as champion. And like what you said, I'm pretty much in agreement with you in terms of future direction with Punk. I think you could do some different things with Punk as champion. And again, I think you could take a breather with Cody and have him kind of be in the backseat a little bit before you reignite him to get back to the title picture. So I'm going to pick CM Punk to get the victory. I think the feud has been all right. It's not been so in your face, which I appreciate. And I understand what they're going for, where they're friends, but then all these things start to kind of pop up and they start to question it a little bit more. I don't mind that as a story. This feels very much like a story that Cody and Punk would hook up and pitch to creative. So I don't mind it. I do feel like Cody will eventually find his way back into the title picture, but probably in 2027. So for now, though, I'm going to pick CM Punk to retain the championship.
Anything else involved in this? Do we see anybody else? Surprises? Like, as we wrap up night number 1, like, at least I picked somebody to turn heel. I haven't really heard a lot of surprises or things that you think are going to happen other than straight wrestling matches. And I don't know if you've ever watched the WWE, Zach.
There's a lot of run-ins.
But I don't know that straight wrestling is what we usually get from them. But maybe we'll be surprised. But like on night number 1, what can possibly happen here?
To be fair to Punk, usually a lot of his matches are straight pro wrestling matches. We saw that with his match against Roman back at WrestleMania. So could there be shenanigans afoot? Absolutely. I could totally see some shenanigans afoot where referee gets knocked down in the corner. Another referee runs down to try and get the pin, try and count the pin, but then that's a 2 count. And then, I can't believe he did run down that 7-mile ramp quick enough. So, I'm looking through and there's nothing where I'm like, wow, I'd be totally surprised about something that will happen, because in all of their run-ins and whatnot, it's actually kind of become predictable to expect a surprise, if that makes any sense. So I don't really have anything that comes to mind. Maybe it's just the matter of with this card, like, honestly, Lee, the care factor is very, very tough right now for this SummerSlam card. So it's very tough for me to come in and say, oh yeah, this person from NXT is going to run in, or, oh, this person's going to get in the title mix now or whatnot. So I don't really have anything right now off the top of my head. So I can't wait for when they do something that is going to be a shock and it's just going to be annoying for me. And I'll come on this show and just talk about it.
Do you think Cody remains a babyface?
Yes. But I think you start to see more of that heelish tendencies really come to the forefront in early 2027, like Royal Rumble time.
Okay. Not now time is what.
Not now time. No, I don't see a heel turn brewing here. Would be surprising though.
I just want them to do something. To me, they usually do. And that's like in the main event of night 1, we often see, like, we saw Paul Heyman turn at WrestleMania and go with Seth Rollins. We saw Randy Orton leave Cody Rhodes laying. Now, they didn't do anything. I guess he got hurt or whatever. But, like, we do see sometimes a bit of an angle at the end of the Saturday night going into the Sunday to keep people hooked. And I'm asking what that might be. So I don't know, but it feels something about Cody not being a straight babyface. That's what it feels like to me. But all right, Zach, we'll move on to night 2. All right.
This night 2 card, Lee. This is looking rough.
Well, I don't know about that.
It's a rough card, Lee. Well, rough for me. It's for one of the match types, especially. Well, 2 of them, I guess.
Well, one is, and let's start it off. Night 2, Human Money's on a pole match. Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio. The winner will keep the $100,000 that Danhausen stole from the Judgment Day that they just had laying around, because that's what we do.
As you do. You just leave a big old pile of money especially with the crazy curse guy around. Just going to leave $100,000 laying on the floor, be taken and stolen.
Okay, so what happens here, Zach?
I'll turn off my TV. I'll wait for when people message me that the match is over, and then I'll turn the TV back on, and then I'll go right back to watching SummerSlam. That's what's going to happen for night 2. Lee, have we finally, started to be like, maybe this is a little too much?
Well, we do have to talk a little bit because in their go home show on Monday Night Raw, just a disastrous segment of Danhausen, Joe Hendry, Brian Garcia, who has a laundry list of things of why he should not be on television.
Yes.
And mixing him in with Danhausen and more dancers. Like that really went over well the first time they did that.
Yes.
Mixing in Joe Hendry and a concert that they didn't even get that out of line and was like almost like a straight concert. Like Zach, I heard the coach, who, by the way, I know we've talked a little bit about it, but the coach removed from WWE radio because he was too critical of the WWE on the Pro Wrestling 24/7 channel.
Which is hilarious.
Well, it is, and it's really ironic that for me, I didn't think I would enjoy listening to Coach on that channel, and I very much enjoyed listening to Coach on that channel. Why? Because he was somewhat honest in what is going on. But he said afterwards that this is the worst segment that he's ever seen in the history of pro wrestling. Now, again, he's kind of in the news, so he wants to keep himself in the news, and especially being an anti-WWE guy now because they let him go because he was too critical. He wants to keep that gimmick or whatever that is up. So saying something like it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but he does have a large history with the company. This was disaster. Because even Rich says, I like him, and that was rough. There's no defending this. Like, this is just abominable television. I just don't even know what or why or how anybody came up with this and thought that this was a good idea. Disaster for Joe Hendry, too, because he had really come in and then he had plateaued and you wondered where he was going. And now I know where he was going. Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Okay. So?
Well, if you were to listen to WrestleVotes and what they put out, the reporting from WrestleVotes, who I, at this point, and for the last while, I just have taken as a propaganda arm from WWE. And boy, was it funny to read their latest report. They were like, people in WWE felt that they really missed the mark.
Oh, yeah?
They missed the mark when it came to the Danhausen Joe Hendry segment. Like, oh, really? You did, huh? And they're like, yeah, the Ryan Garcia implementation of all of this, just like, it wasn't to their liking. Come on, man. What? I will carry over what I said on Unreal to today. They really think we're the dumbest, stupidest people in the world.
Yeah.
They really do. Yes, that was the thing that was wrong with that segment. Ryan Garcia being part of the dancers. And look, it's not great either. For the record, not great. But that was a disaster before Ryan Garcia showed up. That was just the cherry on top of the crap sundae that they presented with this segment. So, I watched it, and look, I've been somebody that has been a little bit more down on Danhausen because, Lee, I've seen this 1,000 times with pro wrestling, especially when your creative is not as hot and you have something that's kind of connecting. Every wrestling booker in the history of pro wrestling, including Tony Khan, pushes that hot act to the moon because, like, well, they really like this, so I'm going to feature this more, especially when my TV's not doing so hot right now. So I'm going to showcase more of this. The problem is that you're showcasing more of a lower mid-card to mid-card act onto the majority of your television and making it seem like a big deal. And I said this at the start, and I always say this when like, whether it was Okada introducing his catchphrase or, you know, like, it's going to get old real quick because once they find something, they push it to the moon. You're already seeing it with Andrade's. How you know? How you know? Because they are suckers for this all the time. And so this was bound to happen with Danhausen. So I think they've got to pull back on him. But right now, if you've got the perception that the creative team does and you're looking to try and find the hot acts and continue to show them because it makes you look good, I still think we're going to get segments like this. If that's what the WWE is choosing to tell WrestleVotes and say, no, we didn't miss the mark. Ryan Garcia missed the mark. The guy we knew was going to be part of the segment, and the guy we planned this segment in advance. This was promoted a week in advance. This segment, they thought this was going to work, and it didn't. So now it's culminated into a human monies on a pole match.
I just love you saying that.
Yes, I have to say that with a straight face. Imagine trying to tell people as a wrestling fan, like, yep, this is the match I'm watching. It's, what have I said on the show before? This is probably going to be one of those matches that I hope nobody else walks in while I'm watching pro wrestling.
Yep.
Because I don't want to explain this.
Human money's on a pole match.
Well, why would they have $100,000 later? I don't know. I don't know why they're carrying around $100,000 in the first place.
Why are they calling it human monies? Because if you don't know Danhausen, then you don't know why.
It's like, look, you won't get it. And look, I don't love the pole match either. All right. Like, Vince Russo has struck again. He has found his way back into the creative team.
And has there ever been anything on a pole that's been good? Like, even they had coal miner's glove on a pole, like back in the day. And
yep.
Like, I never liked those matches either. Like, even when they were being serious about what was up the top of the pole. And it wasn't Buff Bagwell's mom.
I was going to say Judy Bagwell. What about Viagra on a pole? That was another.
Yeah.
You know, technically on a pole, but remember the 4 boxes in WCW and Booker T pulled out a box. It was a picture of Scott Hall, and he just like showed it to TV. He's like, I don't know, but I got a picture of Scott Hall. Like, this is. So
okay, so
who's gonna win? I don't know. All I know is that the real loser here is us that we're watching this. So I you know, it's Dominic Mysterio. I mean, look, Dominic Mysterio is in this too.
I'm gonna say you're like beating around the bush here. I'm gonna say that Dominic wins this match, and he gets some help, and maybe he gets some help from somebody new. I think it's time. Like, Dominic just can't be losing this match. And it won't hurt Danhausen a bit.
No.
Because the only people he's over with, and he is over, but the only people he's over with are the people who don't watch the show anyway. That they think he's funny and they don't like, he's a comedy wrestler. He doesn't need to win. Dominic does need to win. So, yeah, I'm going to say that somebody comes out to help. In fact, I might even say almost.
Why not? Sure. Fine. Just get the size disparity thing with Omos and Danhausen.
Because Omos can get up the pole. That's my, like, he's an intimidating factor. He can really help Dom. And he can, like, the monies will be right there for him. He can reach. He's really tall.
And you can't teach that. So
thank you, Enzo.
No problem. Hasn't showed up, by the way. We saw a lot of big cats in those promo videos, but no Enzo so far.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Dominic Mysterio, because why not? But another question I have before I move off of this.
Oh my God, we're still on it. Yeah.
Mercifully, Who's going to be the sponsor for this match? Because WWE is going to want to get some sponsorship money. Who's going to be the one that's going to plow down their human monies, Lee, and say, yes, we would like to have our branding all over the. Whose brand is going to be on the pole? That's a great question. Who's going to be? Is it going to be State Farm on the side? Like, who's it going to be?
No, yeah, I think it's got to be some sort of like wealth management. Like something to tie in with the banks and wealth management and stocks and like it's got to be something to do with money, no?
One would think. I would also like to think it would be those lawyers. Maybe it's one of those. Maybe it's a lawyer. Have you been involved in incidents? Lawyers, call Versage and McGibbon offices.
Well, let's go with.
By the way, the offer is still open from. If you want to fundraise, we sponsor a WWE segment. That offer is still open. So we'll get our branding out there.
Sponsored by Versage and McGibbon.
That's right. Attorneys at law.
Why is Lee in there twice? It just sounded better.
Yeah, it just you need 3 names, and we couldn't find a third name in time.
Okay, we got to get off this.
All right.
So one of the things I'm a little confused on is this, and you can help me. It's a 5-way ladder match for the interim WWE Women's Championship. Now, I didn't think Rhea Ripley was hurt that bad. Is this just we're going to give somebody the interim title because they'll immediately have heat with Rhea Ripley when she comes back? And there's also a confusing part to this to me. 5-way ladder match. We know that Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, and Charlotte Flair are in the match. We also know that coming up on Friday night, Julia is wrestling Lash Legend. But we're also hearing that there's going to be a kind of a mystery person coming in. And I don't know how the mystery person's coming in, if the match is just Julia or Lash Legend. Did something happen to one of them? I don't know. But like, where are we on this match? And do you think it's just like one of the two competitors wrestling on Friday night and then the 4 other ones and we get an interim, or is there a surprise there?
I would imagine you're going to get a match between Julia and Lash Legend to determine who is going to be the 5th and final entrant into the ladder match, which whoopee, another ladder match for me. But can't wait for that, especially for the interim women's championship. Not even the real thing, Lee. So get fired up. For maximum chaos, because look at the competitors in this match already announced. You got Jade Cargill in here. You've got Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, who's not exactly Manami Toyota, and you got Charlotte Flair, who's kind of more on the back 9 than the front 9 of her career. So I want maximum chaos. I want Lash Legend in this thing, and I really want to see what happens with her, because like that could be disastrous with this ladder match. It's one of those deals where I thought we wouldn't see the interim match type in WWE. I thought we had heard loud and clear from the people in AEW when they tried to introduce this and try to be more like UFC, that they really didn't like this and they wanted the interim stuff incorporated with the world title lineage, which I agree with.
Yeah.
So of course WWE heard all that and said, let's do it ourselves. It's going to work for ourselves. So look, Lee, it's a ladder match. I was kind of neutral on the ladder match we saw this past Sunday at Redemption. I can only imagine what this ladder match will bring. So the winner, because they have been trying to do the Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill stuff here. They have been teasing that. I'm going to pick Jade Cargill, but
okay. There's an outside shot for me that Chelsea Green wins this match.
Yeah, I could see it too.
Because when they actually combine it, like she goes on a bit of a run with the title until Rhea Ripley comes back and then it's all over. Right? Like, and then they can just combine it back and it's not that big of a deal, but they give Chelsea a little bit here. like in a couple of months while Rhea Ripley's gone. But I do think, like, you've been hearing rumors. I think that somebody's going to be in this match that we don't expect. And I'm guessing it's Stephanie Vaquer. Like, we haven't seen her. She was at FanFest. If she wins the title, do you want to see Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer?
Yes.
Yes. So, again, I'm going to find a way to put her in the match. And somebody gets attacked. Somebody can't make it. And they need, if you believe this, Zach, they do an angle where somebody gets hurt and then they need someone last minute.
Yeah.
And a championship opportunity just falls out of the sky.
Yep. And CM Punk is going to run in and fill that spot, is what
That's
you're
right.
saying.
AJ Lee is your new champion as she comes back.
Yes. Excellent.
Yes,
Stephanie Vaquer just happens to be there with her gear ready to go.
Yeah.
And goes out there and fill it.
But to me, regardless of the reasoning behind it, it's like, do I want to see Stephanie Vaquer and Rhea Ripley? Yes. So I'm either like, I'm going to go with the fact that they're going to insert her into this match. Give us a real surprise.
Yeah.
I'm coming to the table with things, Zach.
So your pick is somebody that's not in the match currently.
That's right.
Not even announced for a match.
If I have to pick someone in the match, I am picking Chelsea Green.
I pick Maximum Chaos. That's what I want. I just want Maximum Chaos.
A returning Baron Corbin. I need you to talk for a second. There's something happening outside.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask you about a returning Baron Corbin who suddenly gets a U.S. title match with Trick Williams. Is it a good idea for Baron Corbin to come in, first match back, SummerSlam, title match, and lose?
Well, I'll take over from here while you figure out what's going on. Maybe there's a run-in going outside the palatial estates. I don't know.
But maybe someone's scared. I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe. We'll figure it out here, what's going on over at the palatial estates. But in terms of my thoughts, look, is it a bad look if somebody were to return in the case of Baron Corbin and lose their first match? Probably, especially when it comes to a title match. But we also have to remember here, we're talking about Baron Corbin. This is not a big time star that's returning to pro wrestling here. This is a guy that when he was in the WWE, they had blamed him for all the creative faults that were going on in WWE when it was 2019. Then it was the, happy Corbin, down on his luck Corbin, whatever version of Baron Corbin that was there. This was somebody that really didn't pop off the screen when he was there. And he was not an exemplary in-ring performer when he was there either. So what do you do with a guy like Baron Corbin when you bring him back? You have him face off against the 2026 version of him and Trick Williams. But with more charisma. And you put them all together. And Lee, when I saw this match was announced, I'm like, Lee, this is the most 2.5-star match I'm going to ever watch in pro wrestling.
Baron can get some people over, right? Good to work with. Put everybody over. Had good matches with people. Underrated. Who's winning? Baron Corbin's winning. He's got to win.
Sure.
Don't be
Lee. It's Baron Corbin.
Yeah, but he's got to win, right? Like he can't come back and lose because where does he possibly go after that?
Well, while you're out, I was saying logically, yes, the person that returns, you don't want them to lose their first match. But we're talking about Baron Corbin here.
And the WWE.
And the WWE.
Seem to care about this.
Who, I never sat back. It's like, you know what this programming really needs right now? This needs Baron Corbin on my television.
Yeah, but
screen.
what we actually need is Trick Williams to just not be stuck in this weird U.S. title thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we need. Baron Corbin's winning.
Yep. Look, we also need, Trick Williams to get good in the ring too. Like I would also like that. That would be nice.
Well,
And you're really going to do that with Baron Corbin. He's not exactly a Kiritawe out there. So, I knew that would pop you. That's just how it's going to be. So, Lee, I'm going to sit there on a Sunday night and I'm going to watch the most 2.5-star wrestling match I think I'll ever seen. And, I love wrestling fans. I really do. But I love when they're like, oh, the black hole slam or whatever that he did. That was really good. And the two moves he does that looks really, really good.
Finisher at one point.
See, there it is already. Like he's got two moves that makes it look really good. And people are like, well, he's a good wrestler. Yeah, because he has two moves. 911 could do a choke slam really well. What else could he do?
Nothing.
Like he did so well, and Paul Heyman booked him so well, he got a contract with WCW. All right, because Eric Bischoff, such a genius, really great talent evaluators. Like we need 911.
I feel like you're diverting from where we were.
Oh, this is
how you got 911 and Eric Bischoff out of the U.S. title match at SummerSlam. I'm not sure.
Look, I did. I found a way. I would much rather see 911 just walk out and chokeslam both these guys than leave. That would be great. But we're not getting that here.
Okay, who are you picking?
I'm picking Trick Williams to retain.
Okay.
Because logic doesn't make any sense in WWE. So why go forward with that?
Yeah. Quick update. Both the Mack truck and the fact checker, Eric and Steve.
Has my fact checker gimmick already been taken again?
Well, yeah, but Zach, I look at it like you're elevated.
Yes.
And we still need a fact checker.
Oh, so it's like the gimmick works so well. It's been a little bit now. We're going to pass the gimmick down to somebody. It's like Stan Hansen did the cowboy gimmick so well. We're going to wait a couple of years and then we're going to give another guy the cowboy gimmick.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. I get you. I get you. Fair enough.
It's going to be Barry Windham and he can't do it. So then we'll give it to John Bradshaw Layfield.
Yeah.
Like something like that. But Big Mac, Eric, the fact checker, and the Mack truck standing outside for, I don't even know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Too scared to come in. And then.
Well, now I see they have made the run in now.
Yeah, they've made the run in because I said that they're allowed inside.
So. Yes. There you go.
Shut the door, Bugs. Come on. You think this is December in here? Like, come on.
Lee, where's this good card? Where's this good card you've been telling me about for night 2? That this isn't rough.
Okay, so it's coming up right now.
All right.
Even you can't be upset about Penta and Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. You might not like the storyline or whatever, but this is gonna be a good match.
I hope so. I think it should be a good match. On paper, it should be, and this is an opportunity. Kind of feels like ever since that, the Al Grande Americanos match feels like that was a long time ago now. I don't think they've really built off the heat as much as I thought they would.
I agree.
With Gable.
Yeah.
He does this should be, other than the main events, like one of the hottest matches going into the card. But this just kind of feels like a good match. Like I think these two will go out there and have a good match. I don't know if they're going to hit that peak. We'll see. But I would gladly be wrong about that. But this is, Chad Gable has to win this, I would imagine. Like this just seems prime for a Chad Gable win.
I would be shocked if Chad Gable doesn't win this match. Shocked. Building up the heat, giving him something, hopefully having him go out and then have really good matches. Penta hasn't done much for the Intercontinental title. So, yeah. But if they're not going to hit their mark at SummerSlam where they're going to be given time, there's only 6 matches on night 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're not hitting their mark here, the peak, are they going to hit the peak? You know what I mean? Like there's no better opportunity to do it. So I think we can agree that one is going to be very watchable. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor for the #1 contender to the Undisputed Championship. I would hope that this is a good match as well. So here's 2 in a row. I think Finn Balor should be on course here to be the #1 contender because it's for the WWE Championship, and Finn Balor and CM Punk have history. And if we think Punk is retaining a Finn Balor, CM Punk storyline after this makes sense to me. So I'm going to pick Finn Balor. I hope they don't lose Sami Zayn. I'd love it if Sami Zayn won, but I don't think he's going to.
My hot take.
Okay.
Finn Balor is an overrated wrestler in 2026.
Yeah, you've said that before.
Well, that just kind of got shot down there. All right. Well, Finn Balor, I don't think he's overrated.
I think we all know that Finn Balor was decent 10 years ago.
Yep.
But it's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's not anymore. So he's not what he was.
No. I don't think he's bad, for the record. I think he could still go out there and have a solid match. But
am I okay with a guy like him being pushed over others? Yes. Even if he's not at his peak.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know if it's a hot take. It's like Sami Zayn isn't as good as he was when he was El Generico and early in his WWE tenure.
Well, yes. I don't know. I still get the sense people think of Finn Balor as another all-worldly athlete. And I don't get that sense anymore from him. I do wonder what he would look like out of the WWE system. That's what I will say. I don't know if he's as motivated as he was in the past. But having said that, I don't think they're going to go out there and have a bad match. I think this will be like a 3.5 star special, So I did the flies get in from the entry?
It's like a small bee or something. It's worse than a fly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you were just having the honeycombs too.
They're going to have heat too. Like,
yes. Oh, well.
I mean, it isn't Jay White appearing, but
no. I would hear it from the room over here.
I mean, Jay White coming on the screen was like the biggest thing that's ever happened, apparently.
Yeah. It's too bad it didn't translate in that chain match, let me tell you.
Who are you picking? You picking Finn Balor?
I'm picking Finn Balor.
Oh. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. It will be the main event of night number 2. And I don't know how you can't be intrigued. They don't wrestle very often. I know you're going to tell me that you're not big on Roman Reigns or on Seth Rollins as much as other people. We know that. But
there goes one of my talking points.
Yeah, you have to be somewhat intrigued by this match. No?
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I guess.
Oh my God. Come on, man.
I don't know. I found the build a little weird.
Former Shield members. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me of that, Lee. I wish they would batter me over the head with that more on the programming. Wasn't there more than 2 members of the Shield? What happened to that third guy?
They mentioned Moxley actually a couple weeks ago on TV. So
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, I will say this. This is a match that hasn't happened as much as you would think it has.
No.
It feels like you look at it as like, wow, okay, that's another match. But they really haven't had as many matches as you think they have. I remember the Royal Rumble match, of course.
Yeah.
But I think other than a TV match, I think that's it. I don't think they've had that many matches with each other. So I think they just seem so linked because I remember when Rollins came back from the first time he had torn his knee out, like blowed his knee out. And he did the jumping pedigree onto Roman when he was doing the spear. That was in Money in the Bank, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So over 10 years ago. I remember that visual and being like, wow, that was really cool. And he's a big star now, Seth Rollins, like just coming back. And been at that state since then of he's one of those guys where they really want to try and have you believe he's on this level of Cody and Roman and Punk, but he's more, I don't want to say a jobber to the stars, but he's below that. And every time they try to give him the ball, and I know that was part of the build up to the feud, like Reigns said that in one of his back and forth promos, it was like, every time they give you the ball, you blow out your knee or you get injured or whatnot. And I don't know, like some of that stuff, it doesn't feel like it's actually related to the story. It's more like, we know these things that happen on TV. I'm going to use that as a shot at you. And we're trading shots back and forth. and the crowd goes, "Whoa! I can't believe he said that." But it lacks the actual depth of like, okay, so why do these guys hate each other? It's just if it was just you and I just trading barbs back and forth, it's like you call it the palatial estate, but it's in Ashton. Whoa, like like it's not a very riveting feud. So, and you're like, Belleville, more like Bourville, am I right? Whoa, like.
Well, that's a good one. I like that.
Like it's like we're trading shots back and forth, but there's not actual heat. Like, why do these guys want to fight each other?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's been lacking that depth, but I'm sure it'll be a good match. I don't think, I think it'll be a good pro wrestling match, good main event. I'm going to pick Roman to retain here.
Okay.
This is tough for you.
It is, because I hate to break this to you, but this isn't going to be a straight one-on-one match. And I also hate to tell you that it's going to feel a lot at the end, like almost every pay-per-view they've had in a long time. Because I do think the Bloodline's going to get involved in this match.
What?
Yeah, I know.
No way.
Yeah, I believe it. Believe that.
Oh, Lee, I mean, come on. Yeah, that's crazy.
Believe that.
Oh, I remember that. Believe that.
Believe that.
It's funny to look at it now, but like, I don't think people realize just how bad Roman was 10 years ago.
Oh, so bad. And he had a bunch of catchphrases that never took off.
Suffer and succotash, son.
So I guess why I'm torn is Seth Rollins a heel or a babyface? He's a heel, right?
I think so, because when they did the New York segment where we had to watch Roman Reigns and what's his name there for the next pose in the middle of the ring for 15 minutes. Jalen Brunson. I had to see those guys be like, "Oh, you're so great. No, you're so great. Here's a title belt telling you how great you are. Oh, if that's so nice, I'll give you my title belt to tell you how great you are." Let's see that for 15 minutes. It's like, can this just be a house show thing? Like, why do I have to watch this? But in that segment, you had Tyrese Halliburton come out with Seth. So I'm like, I think he's the heel, but it's also like, it's New York, and that's kind of what they were going for.
To get over with Brunson and the Knicks that night.
Well, that's what I mean too about this feud being very less defined. It was more just like, I'm gonna say my barb, and you're gonna say your barb.
Okay, so what I'm saying to you though is, the guy I think that is coming out that is going to be more stuck in this is Solo. But who does Solo side with? Does he side with Seth Rollins because he offered to help Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins is a heel? And then Solo kind of goes back to being a heel because you can't trust that guy? Or does Solo do something to help Roman win because he's a babyface and he's going to stick with Roman as the babyfaces and not have like the rest of the heel group? I'm going to pick Roman Reigns to retain, but I think we're going to see a lot of Solo Sikoa and possibly Jacob again. I think it's going to be a bloodline heavy main event. But could Seth Rollins walk out with the World Heavyweight Championship? Absolutely. He had to give it up. He was hurt.
Bloodline heavy main event, huh?
Is Roman a chaser? You know what? I might change my pick here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense for Seth Rollins to be the heavyweight champion. He lost it, or he won it. He got hurt. And I just don't. I think that they can give it to him, I guess. SummerSlam coming up Saturday and Sunday. Zach, We won't talk about it too much because we'll have kind of more of a full show on it. But I did want to talk about Dynamite a little bit because I thought it was an outstanding show, and except for the fact that they had to WWE us with, we're going to change the title, and it's going to be one of the really, really insignificant titles. So we'll just make it the trios ones. And like,
which, by the way, that did happen again on Raw, where Sol Ruca lost her Intercontinental Championship to Raquel Rodriguez on Raw.
Right.
And so, like once again, guys, we need to spin this wheel.
Yeah.
Women's Intercontinental belts. All right. Sorry, Sol Ruca. It's just not your nights. That's a rant for another show, by the way, how like it's now it hasn't helped with her, but like there's a big old rant coming in terms of how they've handled Sol Ruca on this, but
yeah, well deserved. I look forward to hearing that.
Yes.
For sure. So there is some criticism though of the show. But I thought the promos were outstanding in the show. From the beginning with Ospreay and the Death Riders and him leaving, and then there's Hangman. And then the end one was very long. What was it? More than 27 minutes, I thought. It was one of the longest overruns ever.
Yep. I believe it was a 30-minute overrun.
30-minute over. Well, I can tell you that I always put a half hour more on the PVRs.
Yep.
To get the overrun, and I had to go watch the last 2 minutes somewhere else.
Ah, jeez.
Like it literally cut off near the end of that promo. Yes. I'm like, come on, man. Anyways,
I was chatting with the Predict Trivers as the show was going on, and he's like, sometimes when you got to have a lot so you can consume a lot. Like you want to have a big meal so that you can get ready for the big show, right? And I'm like, that's a really nice way of saying Tony Khan can't time out a show to save his life. Yeah. But it's really nice of you to say that. I don't disagree with that necessarily, but it's also because Tony Khan just is allergic to, let's just end this at a reasonable time.
But I did think that the Willow promo, like she is so over, it is crazy how over Willow Nightingale is.
Yep.
Crazy.
If there was any concerns after that match with Tekla that maybe this wasn't the right time, that was totally washed away after that promo segment. It was legit. Like that was great television that they did.
Yep. It was fantastic. And it wasn't overly complicated.
Yep.
Like Mercedes didn't come out and try to overcomplicate it. She was just really good in it. Telling the story that she's been the one, that Willow's been the one to always bring her down. And Willow's like, yeah, you never won this title, man. Like,
yep.
And you can see what that does to Mercedes. So yeah, it's good. Really good. And Willow is just so over. But the end, I just want to, like, I'm an AEW guy. I was disappointed at the show. I didn't get to sing Will Ospreay's song. I was disappointed that Kenny Omega had to fight Kevin Knight. I was disappointed that Will Ospreay was in a tag match, but I was disappointed with all of it. The promo at the end was off the charts good. One of the best I've ever seen Kenny Omega, and Will Ospreay is becoming like one of the top promos in the business.
Yep.
Like this was incredible, incredible television. And like, I think we were sitting there and like it was on mute the first time, and both like Le Champion was there and Ben was there, and they're like, Kenny Omega's just not a good promo when he's a babyface. He's just not. But when he's a heel, man, he leans into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was really, really good.
Did you feel he was being a heel here? Or did you feel like it was more of a middle ground?
Yeah, it was definitely middle ground, but he's putting himself on a little bit of the opposite side of Will Ospreay.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense going into Wembley.
Exactly. Ethan's in, I think I picked a good episode of Dynamite to pull the trigger and finally watching AEW. Well,
there you go.
I thought it was a really good episode.
Me too.
From beginning to end, it probably was a little long for sure. But when it goes long with two guys you love, I don't care.
Yep.
Like that's just my personal philosophy on it.
Yep. If that's the thing. If it's quality that I'm getting for this length, then that's okay.
Yeah. Andrade, against Nick Wayne and Jack Perry was good.
Mm-hmm. How you know?
Because I watched it.
Yeah, but how you know?
Well, after I watched it, I thought that Andrade was pretty good.
Yeah, but how you know?
Well, it's a good question, but probably because I watched the goddamn match. Zach, don't ask me again. I'm not a how you know guy.
It's a little Jey Uso yeet. Come on,
You can't say anything else.
Yeah, it's a little Jey Uso yeet with the and also the entrance a little bit.
Every time he goes to talk, I don't even mind the catchphrases and stuff.
Yep.
But when he goes to talk, I can't understand him. So then he says that, and he just keeps saying it over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
I was like, I need a little bit more than that.
Yeah, that's his Zero Miedo for Pentagon. So
that's right. There are a couple other things I mean, I did think it was odd. I guess one of my criticisms of the show would be that Hangman was the guy that came to save them after the trios match, after they lost. Is he just getting involved with the Death Riders? I guess like that's his next path. Just seemed a bit weird to me that he's coming out for the conglomeration in a trios match. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I thought Kenny was outstanding in this. And you're right. He wasn't full heel. He was saying the truth.
Yep.
And again, Will Ospreay had a bit of an edge to him, right? Like, you put your hands on me again. And like he swore after that. And like, it was just, they're two professionals that understand of where they need to go in the next 4 or 5 weeks to sell this match, the biggest match. And I was there for it all.
Yep.
I loved this promo. Loved it from both, because I don't think Kenny Omega is a great promo.
No.
And he really stepped up his game. And Will Ospreay to me is the best all-around wrestler in the world.
Well, I'll say this when it comes to Kenny Omega. Not only I think is he better as a heel, but also when he's locked into a story, you can tell when Kenny Omega is just not buying into a story when he's cutting a promo.
Yep.
Like the stuff with Zack Sabre Jr. just recently, where you're like, he's just not bought into what he's promoting. Like with all the TMDK stuff, is like, what does that actually mean? Like that was a very weird promo from him. But in this case, he's locked in with this Will Ospreay program, and I thought he was tremendous here. One of his better promos I've ever seen from him, and that's including his time in New Japan. And Ospreay was just fantastic as a believable babyface. So I just, I thought this was just a well done main event segment. Made you really like at the end. This was what you call a money segment, where you're trying to get people to buy in for all in.
Yeah, I worried a little bit that usually that promo is done like right at the end.
Yep.
Like right before the show. And it's like, what are they going to do for the next 4 or 5 weeks? Because that was really good.
Yep.
But usually you see that type of promo is the last thing you see before they go into the match. But I'll take it, and I'll hope that they're able to continue that for the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Yep.
I also think the Kyle Fletcher, like that's a hell of a match in the middle of a Dynamite. Brodito, Mike Bailey, the Don Callis family. Like every time I see Kyle Fletcher, bigger star. And then they're absolutely teasing that, yes, the international title will stay in the Don Callis family. Okada comes out from the closet or the other room. And like they're doing Fletcher, Okada, and Takeshita. And I'm here for that. The interview with the Bucks and Cage and Cope, I didn't think was overly dramatic. I thought it was like really good, and it didn't get stupid. It didn't get, hey, we're going to create a controversy because we need something because we're fighting you.
We need a moment, Lee.
Yeah.
It was very straightforward. It was like explaining both of the motivations of these teams. It's like, one, in the case of the Bucks, in their mind, if they beat, I'll just say Edge and Christian for the sake of simplicity.
Yeah.
If they beat Edge and Christian, that will help really solidify their reign as one of the top tag teams of all time. And in the case of Edge and Christian, it's like, we want to show that we are still, this isn't some retirement tour. This is we're still at our best and we want to beat the best. And we think you are one of the best in the Bucks. Again, very simple, to the point, effective. And I was in on it. Big pop for me when the Bucks said that they were, making sure family was going to be down for All In and Wembley. It's like they were going to bring their wives there. And Christian's like, I'm looking forward to seeing your wives there. It was so funny.
Yeah, I agree.
So good. But it was a good segment. Again, simple, effective, straightforward. Lee, you know this. I'm a simple man.
Yeah.
This is all right for me. Nothing. They didn't have to break out into a concert. They didn't have to do a song and dance. They just explain their motivations, what they want from this match, and I'm interested to see how they're able to do at Wembley.
Okay. So 2 things I want to ask you about before we go. Number 1, I don't know. There's a video on unicorns, and the unicorns were like leaving the reins, and they were saying goodbye, and they were walking down the path, and it's clearly the New Day leaving. Everyone's, oh my God, did you see that video? I'm like, what do you mean? We know they left. Like, we know where they're going. Like, what? I don't know why that's such a big deal, but did you think it was a big deal, this video?
I think it was a big deal. I thought it was a nice video, though. I thought the way that they played it out made sense. Symbolism was a little bit on the nose, but it was, I enjoyed it. I can understand why a fan base would really like that. I was watching the video. I was like, oh, this is sweet. The one unicorn, the one big unicorn that with a broken, horn or whatever. And just,
yeah.
Like I got it. I understood the symbolism. It wasn't, I wasn't watching Shakespeare here. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. Did you see the Grayson Waller promo? And I believe somebody brought it up. Rich brought it up. Speaking of promos, did you guys see the Grayson Waller promo on NXT?
I did see the promo. I saw the whole thing.
Yep.
That might have been the most NXT I've watched in literal months.
Yeah, we know that. What'd you think of the promo?
I don't know if I loved it as much as others did. I didn't disagree with what he was saying. I was like, with when it came to the roster and whatnot, but it was lacking the oomph that other promos of its kind have done in the past.
Yeah, like I think comparing it to some of those like real pipe bomb promos, probably a bit unfair because those are like the top of the line though, right?
Yep.
I agree with you. It wasn't that. Grayson Waller, when I heard his interview with Chris Van Vliet, he's a guy I'm literally rooting for to do well. And to see him on TV in any capacity on any show with a live mic and doing that stuff, I think is the right move for him. So I really enjoyed it. Like Grayson Waller will be a reason why I at least kind of tune into NXT to see what he's doing. I don't have that sort of appeal with anybody else on the roster. Like on that NXT roster, even Cruz Montana is not a guy. That's Mike Santana, by the way.
Yes.
We have to change his name.
Yep.
Cruz Montana. And then he explains it away like it's an ode to my late father. And like he does a nice job at tying in like, yeah, I changed my name, but don't worry, guys. It's like really important to me as a guy. So at least we got some explanation, but I enjoyed it a lot. He also put a couple things out on social media about the people who clapped back at him and then the people who didn't clap back at him. And that told him a lot. It's less about the promo for me. It's more about me actually being a fan of Grayson Waller and like cheering for the guy. And they finally at least gave him something of relevancy to do on the show and made him a focal point. I don't care that it's on NXT as opposed to SmackDown or Raw. I think he's talented. I think he's good. I want to see him in better positions. And I got to see that this week. So I was happy. And I don't think it was like the promo of all promos, but I'm just a fan of the guy. I'm cheering for him. And I want to see more of him. I want to hear more from him. And I think he did a good job with an opportunity that was given to him.
I will say with promos of those kind is that, you run a fine line with it because you start to teeter on this company sucks and everything you're watching sucks.
Right.
And that's what he was kind of going for with the main roster.
Zach, that's what you say about that show.
But there's a difference between me, a dorky podcaster, saying that, and Grayson Waller.
I don't think you're a podcaster.
Sorry, a dorky broadcaster.
Oh, okay.
But that's that saying that compared to professional wrestler on the program, in Grayson Waller. And this is not just a WWE thing. We've seen this in the past with other promos of this kind, where if you're going out there and you're going to acknowledge stuff sucks on your TV, you got to be able to back that up by saying, here's how I'm going to fix this. So that's going to be big coming off of this promo, is how are they going to follow up with Grayson Waller? So that leaves me worried. And also too, it's WWE. So they couldn't play this off like, oh my gosh, he took over the TV and like went rogue or whatnot. I go onto the official WWE account on their reels and it says, wow, Grayson Waller just really went off on the NXT.
That's because they're transparent, Zach.
Yeah.
They're just telling you,
WWE.
hey, Zach, that happened on our TV. We're going to show you. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Wow, can you believe this guy said our company sucks? Like, well, take a look at this.
He didn't say the company sucked. He said the wrestlers weren't.
The wrestlers that wrestle for this company suck.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know if I loved the promo as much as others did. It felt like the most real, like it didn't go have the WWE cadence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm saying my words, and then I'm going to say more words, and then I'm going to say more words. There's the little pauses in between, and they leave it up to the what chance in between all the time.
At the end was good.
Yes.
In the third one.
Yes, thank you. I really brought that promo together in the end. But it's the gaps in between when they talk that leaves them open to the what chance, and everyone's like, how do they keep doing the what chance? It's because you don't let them talk like normal human beings.
Right.
And they've figured out the cadence of how to do this. So when you're talking, it's like, would I go and challenge? What? For the NXT championship? What? I'm going to make sure. What? I'm going to beat them down. What? At the center of the ring. What? Yeah. Like that's every WWE promo you've ever heard. So at least with the Grayson Waller stuff, it was a lot more natural. Didn't give them time to he's like, this is what I feel. This is how I'm going to say it. This is how I think.
Yeah.
So
he got to it and he kept the pace for sure.
Yes. So
which it didn't allow even the one time that they started like cheering for something he said and he's like, I don't need you. Like he got right back to it.
Yep.
Every time Zach takes a pause in his speech, says, Ethan, now I'm going to scream, what? So, Ethan, you could just watch WWE programming and see that. I was just
going to say, just watch a WWE promo. Just watch any sort of the promo going on TV.
Look, this is breaking news. Rich says, my wife just turned on WWE Unreal by herself. While I was getting snacks, you needed to capitalize by herself with exclamation marks. Now, what you do, Rich, as a loyal OSN This Is Wrestling guy, is you say, hey, honey, I hope you enjoy the show. Watch the show. After the show, these guys do a really good review of the show.
One of them lets their mind be known about that show.
And Ethan's like, oh, Rich, I'm so sorry. Unreal sucked. Like, no, Ethan, you're not getting it. Okay. Like, I don't think Ethan's married or like, whatever. Ethan, when your partner who doesn't love wrestling is turning on wrestling by themselves, it's a massive deal, man. Like, you just go with it. Things could be worse. That's all I will say.
Can I bring some breaking news from Collision that happened earlier in the show?
Okay.
Or should I save it for later?
No, why not?
The Motor City Machine Guns have debuted for
That's
All Elite
so
Wrestling.
Stupid.
Is it Detroit? Collision?
Stop it.
Not a fan?
So they do it. They do a show last night that's live and it's in Detroit and it's 2.5 hours and it's amazing. And they didn't bring the Motor City Machine Guns out on their premiere show.
Nope.
And then they bring them out on a secondary show that they tape.
Is it taped or are they actually live this time? I don't know.
Or are they live tonight?
I think they're live tonight.
On a Thursday, yeah?
On a Thursday, yeah.
Okay, well, if they're live, that changes my opinion a little bit, but it's still the secondary show. Why are you debuting a team on your secondary show? And
I don't mind.
Changing the trio's titles. Oh, see, finally. Oh, Trevor gets in with the fact. Trevor's going to be the fact checker. The predict Trevor is going to be the fact Trevor.
Congratulations, Fact Trevor. That's your new name.
Fact Trevor.
Yes.
That's better than the other one. Definitely live tonight.
Yeah, he's watching.
Well,
he was the one that shared me the news.
We're working, Trevor. We're trying to entertain the masses, and I didn't realize Collision was live tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
The Motor City Machine Guns are in. You know who got to show up in Detroit before the Motor City Machine Guns, technically?
Eminem.
Insane Clown Posse, baby.
I know.
Down with the clown. Slim J in the house. Shaggy 2 Dope.
You know what? They weren't on TV.
It was not on TV.
So, I'm fine with that. Like, you want to bring in local favorites to not be on TV, like Insane Clown Posse, fine.
Yeah. Magnets, how do they work, Lee? That's probably one of their songs.
Okay, I still don't love them debuting on a secondary show, but if you want to get ratings for your secondary show because they came on and it's in Detroit, fine. Not my favorite thing, but the fact that it is live and it's not taped is way better than it being taped and airing on Saturday. I just think sometimes it makes them feel a little cheap. But Collision is, I will give them, Collision is becoming a more watchable, better show as opposed to just an absolute afterthought that it was for a while.
Yep.
So, okay, well, they're back. What are they going to do? Because they announced the number one contenders gauntlet match, singles match in the men's division, which I thought they were going to do a tag team one and have Motor City Machine Guns, have, what is their new Daybreak is maybe their name going to be? I think
Old Night.
No, the New Day.
Yes, Old Night.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Old Night. I think it's going to be Daybreak.
You don't think that rings a bell for people?
Yeah, Daybreak, but FTR maybe coming back and some of the other teams that you have. I thought it just would have been a great way to bring back a whole bunch of teams, put the focus on the tag team division, but they're not going to do that. So they're going to have a number one contenders match in the gauntlet. I don't mind that, but we'll see how that evolves. What they're going to do with the tag teams, I don't know, but they are acquiring some of them. All right, Zach, that's going to do it for us. Almost at the 2-hour mark.
Yep.
But we also did a Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling review tonight.
Yep.
We did Unreal episode 2 last night. As you said, there's some bonus coverage coming out this week as well. More bonus coverage. Is that from the van rides or is that from something else? I know.
Tomorrow will be the last of the audio from the van ride. So we got the van ride audio coming tomorrow. And then there's a lot coming out. You've got the van ride stuff, Maple Leaf Pro, and this that you're listening to right now if you didn't listen live. So you got that stuff. There's a bunch of bonus audio that's already been released. There's one more piece of bonus audio that I've decided to release for next week. Yeah. Because I figured we would be pretty loaded up with the SummerSlam stuff. Yeah. And depending on how we're able to, because I know we still have to get the Dark Side of the review, Dark Side of the Ring reviews going. But we're working on that. One
of the great things I think coming up this weekend is how mad will Zach be if he watches SummerSlam Night 1 live? That on WrestleMania we had to do a live show on Sunday morning.
Yeah,
and it's like, will that happen? I'm intrigued.
Well, based on the cards that we went over, I think it actually might be more Night 2. That's going to be a bit rougher for me, but we'll see. Triple H tends to surprise, so I'm looking forward to that. Did you see his? He finally showed up on Busted Open. When it finally got rebranded to WWE Radio, finally showed his face like, yeah, of course I'll talk to you about what's going on in the WWE. Loves the passion of the fans, and
Brutal.
just don't talk about the creative, and put that passion to the wrestlers, not the writing team, who, by the way, we showcase in our Netflix show. Anyway,
honestly, Zach, I didn't want to get riled. Like, it's such a joke that he did it now, and that quote that he had, but even the fact that he was on now is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
He's shamelessly. It's so shameless. It's unbelievable.
It's so bad. All right, that's going to do it for us. As you said, bonus audio, we'll have reviews, of course, of SummerSlam coming up as well. And we'll continue with all of the Maple Leaf Pro and the Dark Side of the Ring and the WWE Unreal. I can't wait to watch episode 3. I can't wait. It should be...
Lee, I'm not gonna lie. I really want to get to Dark Side of the Ring to get that Unreal taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, I know, and I'm like, no, let's just continue with the Unreal, man.
Lee, Lee. Can we please talk about Samoa Joe versus Necro Butcher, please?
Yes.
Please, I'm begging. I'm begging. I'll talk about Boss Man, like, please.
Yeah, we can. All right, that's gonna do it for us. So we appreciate you being with us, especially Rich, Ethan, the Factriver, which I feel like is just flowing as his new name.
Yes. I can just see it now on the Factriver t-shirts available now.
Yeah, see? It just flows, man. He's the Factriver.
He's the Factriver.
It's a good role for him.
I love that it's a nickname that's so bad, but it's stuck with him ever since he introduced it.
It's so bad. And it's too bad because he's probably a better guy than the nickname, right? Like he is.
I talk with Trevor all the time.
Yeah, no, like, what's $45 a pop? The t-shirts?
Yeah, the t-shirts.
What's the deal, man?
Yeah, he's already in worker mode. He's already like $20 for an 8x10, brother.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I respect it.
That's not a bad deal.
$25 with a signature on that 8x10. I know how you work, Factriver.
Yeah, exactly. So for Zach McGibbon, I'm Lee Versage. We appreciate you being with us again. Stay tuned. We got a ton of coverage coming up. And don't forget, as the calendar turns to August and SummerSlam, so WWE Raw and SmackDown being taped in the same building, Canadian Tire Center, on August the 24th. So look forward to that as well. So for Zach McGibbon, I'm Lee Versage. Thanks for being with us for another edition of This is Wrestling.